Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel. This is Sci Prime Productions, a new YouTube channel, so please bear with me as I figure things out. Today is going to be a second in a series of short videos describing how to play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Last time we talked about the basics. As a quick reminder, if you want to accomplish a task in Pathfinder, what you do is 1. You roll a 20-sided die. 2. Add any bonuses you have for doing the task in question. For example, add a number representing how skilled you are at the task, or any situational bonuses like maybe having access to good tools. 3. Compare the end result to a number representing how hard the task is. If you meet or beat the number, you succeed. If you don't meet the number, you fail. We'll talk more about how this works in the skills or combat videos that'll come up shortly, but today we're going to move on to the 3 big tentpole systems in Pathfinder that separate it from Dungeons & Dragons. That is, the 3-action economy, the proficiency system, and the degrees of success system. 1. The 3-action economy. In Pathfinder 2e, you get 3 actions around, which is normally represented by these 3 diamonds. 1 diamond is 1 action, 2 represents 2, 3 represents 3. Pretty simple. Now, I say that and most D&D players start jumping for joy. 3 actions per round? That means a high-level fighter could get 12 attacks a round, right? Sadly, no, that's not quite the case. You see, in Pathfinder 2e, almost everything costs an action. Moving your speed is an action, drawing your sword is an action, and attacking once is an action. Even if it's in your offhand, it's still an action. There are no such things as bonus actions here. Everything is either an action or a free action. In fact, some things you may want to do in Pathfinder 2e are so complicated they may require multiple actions. Casting most spells in Pathfinder is a 2-action activity. Look here in the game Quest for the Golden Candelabra, a video game using the Pathfinder 2e rules set. The cleric casts the spell Fire Ray, which uses up 2 of his 3 actions, represented by these little rectangles here. Note he had already used an action earlier, walking and getting into position. One last thing about the 3-action economy is that if you attack, every subsequent attack you make is at an increasing penalty. That is, if you attack a second time, you suffer a -5, and if you attack a third time, you suffer a -10. This actually encourages players to do things on their turn other than just sit there and swing their sword at the bad guy all day long. Now, there are certain abilities that mitigate these penalties, but we'll discuss them more in subsequent videos. 2. The proficiency system. At first, the proficiency system may look similar to the D&D system. Both of them have an untrained level where you add your raw ability score, called an attribute in Pathfinder, and any situational bonuses you have to the roll, but you don't have any formal training in the skill. Then, in both systems, if you're trained, you get a bonus to that skill just because of your knowledge and expertise in that area. The same applies to weapon attack rolls and how difficult it is to resist your spells if you have spells. And a few classes can get an extra bonus to certain skills called expertise. The Pathfinder system goes a bit further beyond that, however. In D&D, you add +2 at low levels if you are trained, and it goes up by character level slowly. In Pathfinder, if you're trained, you add 2 plus your character level to your proficiency bonus. This makes the numbers in Pathfinder get real big real fast. In addition, any class can become an expert in any skill, which means you get 4 plus your level. Masters get 6 plus their level, and legendaries get 8 plus their level. And believe it or not, any class can become legendary in at least a few skills if they become high enough level, though of course rogues get the opportunity to become legendary in more skills than anyone else. It should be noted that the proficiency system applies to everything in Pathfinder, from attacks to skills to saving throws to armor class or how hard it is to be hit. So a wizard with no dexterity bonus to his AC can sit in the middle of the field, wear no armor, and still have an AC of 13 at level 1. That is because wizards are proficient in unarmored defense, which gives them an automatic bonus of 2 plus his level of 1 to his AC. Don't celebrate yet, though, because all of the level 2 AC stuff means that enemies tend to have higher bonuses to hit, so a 13 AC is still pretty bad. If you're confused about terms like armor class, saving throws, and the such, don't worry, we'll cover that in future videos. Just know for now that you add your proficiency bonus to anything you are proficient in, including, in this case, defending yourself without wearing armor. 3. The Degrees of Success system. The last and possibly simplest system in Pathfinder 2e that separates it from Dungeons & Dragons is the Degrees of Success system. This is pretty easy to understand. Remember that doing things in Pathfinder requires you to roll a d20, add bonuses, and try to beat a certain number. If you beat that number, you succeed. If you fail, you fail. However, there is more to it than that. If you beat the number by 10 or more, you critically succeed. And if you fail by 10 or more, you critically fail. The exact ramifications of what is a critical failure and a critical success vary from situation to situation. If you're bonking someone with a sword, a critical success means you double all damage you deal, whereas a critical failure usually doesn't mean anything special. On the other hand, if you're making a check to, say, convince the queen that you've caught an assassin, a critical success and a normal success might look the same. Whereas if you critically fail, you might insult the queen accidentally and get your party clapped in irons. One last thing about the Degrees of Success system. If the result of your d20 roll without bonuses or penalties is a 20, that is, a 20 shows up on the die, then you automatically move your degree of success one level up. If the die result without bonuses or penalties is a 1, that is, the die face shows a 1, then you move the degree of success one level down. For example, if you wanted to attempt a medicine check and your bonus is plus 20 because you're a high-level adventurer and the difficulty you're trying to beat is 15, normally you couldn't fail. However, if you roll a 1 on the die, then the result becomes 21, which would normally be a success, but gets bumped down to a failure because of the rule about rolling 1s. Similarly, if your bonus to medicine is only a plus 1 and you're rolling against the same number 15 and you get a 20 on the die, the number would still be a 21, which should be a success. However, because you rolled a 20 on the die, that gets bumped up to a critical success. Alright, that's all I have for you today. Stay tuned for future videos where I will go even further into how to play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. If you liked the gameplay footage, it's from a short, indie-developed freeware game using the Pathfinder 2e rule set called Quest for the Golden Candelabra, and it's out on Steam now. Check it out, it's pretty amazing as it was put together by just one guy and a couple of amateur voice actors. Once again, I'm new to this YouTube thing and I'm trying to make a go of it, so any comments, likes, or subscribes would really help this channel out and tell YouTube that you would like to see more of this content. Thank you. Good day and happy gaming!